I had got some responses regarding the Pascal's triangle, and there have been some interesting properties which have been pointed out. So I will discuss that. I'll just collect all of them and discuss that maybe in the next class, or whenever I get time to collect all of them. But today's class we're going to start with binomial theorem. Though of course binomial theorem and Pascal's triangle is to some extent related, but just that today we are going to begin with what is called as binomial theorem. As far as the properties are concerned, some of you have done a very good research and have pointed out very interesting properties regarding Fibonacci numbers, powers of 11, powers of 2, a lot of things. Let's summarize all of them maybe in some other class. Today, let's begin with binomial theorem, and also if time permits, we will also discuss on uses of binomial theorem in physics, because the purpose is not to read maths. Maths तो मैथ सर कराएंगे और काफी ज्यादा डिटेल में कराएंगे compared to what I'm going to discuss in today's class. हम तो binomial theorem एक दिन में खत्म कर देंगे, but maths में तो हफ्ता 10 दिन तक चलेगा सिर्फ binomial theorem और उसके applications, mathematical applications सब. तो हम लोग का पर्पस क्या है कि binomial theorem को हम कहाँ पे और किस तरीके से फिजिक्स में यूज करें. That's what the purpose would be. Fine. Chalo, let's start. So today's discussion is on binomial theorem. Fine. Before we talk about binomial theorem, let me introduce the concept of factorial. Most of you know, I know, but still some of you may or may not know. So therefore, I'm going through the basics, assuming that some of you might not be knowing. Fine. Otherwise, it's not a requirement really. And that is, we write either n factorial or we write factorial n. So this is the first thing that we're going to discuss regarding binomial theorem, and that is called as factorial. Factorial is an interesting concept. Factorial is basically multiplication of all numbers from 1 to that number. Or you can also say that by reducing the numbers, multiply all the numbers from n and end at 1. So I can write, by the way, these are two symbols of the same quantity. This is the old symbol, this is the new symbol. This is read as n factorial and this is read as factorial n. So not much of a difference, slightly different. So n factorial is equal to factorial n. So I'm emphasizing the fact that they are the same thing, but in old books you will get this notation, in new books you will get this notation. Sometimes they are mixed also. So all depends. Now what are the two definitions? One is that start from n and then go to the lower and lower numbers, end at 1. Multiply all of them. So you have n into n minus 1 into n minus 2 dot into 1. So end at 1. That's the first definition. The second definition is the same thing. Reverse 1 into 2 into 3 into dot up to n. So either you multiply from 1 to n or you multiply from n and then go down onwards till 1. It's the same thing. So let's see if I ask you, what is 1 factorial? That is 1. 2 factorial is 1 into 2. That's 2. So 3 factorial, 1 into 2 into 3, that's 6. 4 factorial is 24. 5 factorial is 120. 6 factorial is 720 and so on. I think that's pretty easy stuff. Now here comes a concept, and that is, what should be 0 factorial? Now, I know that most of you know the answer, so you will give from your knowledge, or you can say exposure. But can somebody tell me any logic behind 0 factorial? I'm asking the question because if you look at the definitions, either this definition or this definition, according to these two definitions, 0 factorial will fit in none of them. So according to what logic do we now assign or find out the value of 0 factorial? By the way, what is the answer to 0 factorial?
1.
Saksham says 1. A few more says 1. Yug also says, I think. Pearl has just written the answer as 1. Utkarsh says 1. Okay, fine. I'm asking the question to somebody in general. Let's ask Archit. Archit, can I have you on microphone on? Archit, can you tell me what is the logic behind 0 factorial being equal to 1? Any explanation? Because
Arranging 0 things.
If I apply the definition, it does not fit. So according to what logic do I say that 0 factorial is equal to 1? And by the way, 0 factorial is equal to 1 is the correct answer. Yeah, please carry on.
Sir, arranging 0 things.
By arranging 0 things. Okay. You know what? This reminds me of a very interesting thing. I mean, sometimes, you know, if you ask me what is a genius or how exactly genius can be explained, there are many ways people go into that. Some people say that genius are actually born. Okay, some people say that. Some people say that genius are made. So they give a lot of efforts and then slowly come up to the ladder of a high level of thoughts, and that's how they become genius. Or maybe genius in mathematics, genius in football, genius in cricket, genius in art, genius in being poet, anything. I mean. So you do a lot of practice and you become a genius. So there are two ways of looking at it. One is that it's an inborn talent. So you're born with it. You're a born genius. Other is that you work hard and then slowly rise up to the ladder and become a genius. Now, both shades are there available in history. A lot of people were actually not born very bright and then became bright towards the end of their lives. Some of them were bright even in the beginning itself, childhood itself. Let me recount Utkarsh has a suggestion. Okay, Utkarsh, yes, please go ahead with your logic. Yeah, please. Microphone on.
No, sir, like when we calculate n minus 1 factorial from n, we divide by n. So like 1 factorial is 2 factorial by 2. Now 0 factorial will be 1 factorial by 1.
Okay,
And
exactly. You're right. Actually, you are right. And I'm just going to explain this fact only in a briefly. I mean, in a short while. Let me talk about that genius thing that I was saying. You know, at a very early childhood age, when division was being taught, so like there are, let's say, 10 apples, divide amongst 2 people. How do we divide? So the result is 5. There are 6 apples. There are 3 people. How do we divide? So the answer is 2, and so on. So this is how division was being taught. And at the end of the class, imagine a small boy, Ramanujam, asks his teacher, "Sir, what would happen? Let's see if there are no apples and no students. How do we divide them? How do we really do the division?" So basically, a very young child, imagine, is asking, what will the answer to 0 by 0? So can we then say that Ramanujam was a born genius? Well, that debate can go on. I mean, let's not get into that debate because that will then distract ourselves. I mean, let's look at the logic. What Utkarsh was saying was very, very correct, and that is, this definition cannot give me the answer of 0 factorial is equal to 1. The logic that has to be applied is that to go from 6 factorial to 5 factorial, what are we doing? We are dividing by 6. So to go from 5 factorial to 4 factorial, what we do? We divide by 5 and get 4 factorial as 24. From 4 factorial to 3 factorial, if I want to go, then I have to divide by 4. So therefore 24 divided by 4 is 6. From 3 factorial to 2 factorial, if I want to go, I have to divide it by 3. So 6 divided by 3 is equal to 2. From 2 factorial to 1 factorial, if I go, I have to divide by 2. So logically, this chain should not end here. This chain should not end here. So therefore, from 1 factorial to 0 factorial, what should I do? I should divide by 1. So 1 divided by 1 is equal to 1. Now you might say, why don't you carry it to the other part? Factorial has been not defined for negative numbers. So we cannot carry this logic further. Fine. Now, one more place where you can probably use this logic is even in powers also. For example, let's say, if I ask you 2 to the power 0, what is it? Now, I know that you know the answer. But the problem is that if you look at the definition, it does not fit into that. Why? Because the definition is that 2 to the power n is equal to 2 into 2 into and so n times. Now, if it is 2 into 0, that means I should write it as 0 times. Now, first of all, to get a sense of this is very difficult. Then now what sense do I get out of it? Here also, interestingly, this kind of a logic works. Now, let's see how. Suppose if I write 2 to the power 1 is equal to 2, 2 to the power 2 is equal to 4, 2 to the power 3 is equal to 8, 2 to the power 4 is equal to 16, 2 to the power 5 is equal to 32, and so on. We can do that. Let's look at from 2 to the power 5 to 2 to the power 4. What do I need to do? I need to divide by 2. From 2 to the power 4 to 2 to the power 3, what do I need to do? I again need to divide by 2. From 2 to the power 3 to 2 to the power 2, what do I need to go? Again divide by 2. So from 2 to the power 2 to 2 to the power 1, I should divide by 2. So from 2 to the power 1 to 2 to the power 0, what should I do? I should again divide by 2. So this 2, when divided by this 2, should give me as what? 1. So there is a logical chain of sequence which gives me the idea of how to really get to this number of 2 to the power 0. I'm sure this would be an interesting perspective to look at. Of course, there is a proof of this. We write it as 2 to the power m minus n and then apply the laws of indices and reach the answer of 1. That is always there. But that's like adopting mathematical methods and get the answer. Here we are not exactly adopting mathematical methods, we are adopting a logical chain. That logical chain leads to 2 to the power 0 being equal to 1. But anyway, let's come back to this. So we have 0 factorial is equal to 1. And then let's go to the next concept. And that is combination. We call this as combination. Now, combination, we have a certain notation. Unfortunately, we are slightly jumping the gun. Combination is a topic by itself. But then if we start discussing that topic, then we are going to again hardcore pure mathematics, which we are not interested. We are interested only in those aspects of mathematics which we are going to require very soon in physics. And then we could not distract from physics back to maths and then back to physics. So we are doing it right now. So that's why we are doing it immediately. So combination is NCR. This is the notation. There is a description also, and that is combination of R things. Combination of N things taken R at a time. There is a description also, but that's the explanatory description. Let's not go into that. Let's go into the pure mathematical expression, and that is equal to N factorial by R factorial into N minus R factorial. Now, some examples before we start using them. Okay, and that
Sir,
is,
what is the meaning of this NCR?
yeah, that's what actually I was not wanting to go into. Actually, इसका एक meaning है. Meaning ये है कि suppose तुमको 5 अलग-अलग आइटम में से 2 को चूज करना, तो तुम कितने तरीके से चूज कर सकते हो? जैसे मान लो मेरे पास A, B, C, D, E 5 आइटम्स. मैं कहता हूं दो, कोई सा भी 2 उठा लो, कोई सा भी 2 उठा लो. अब तुम बहुत तरीके से कर सकते हो. जैसे AB ले सकते हो, BC ले सकते हो, CD ले सकते हो, DE ले सकते हो, फिर AC ले सकते हो, AD ले सकते हो, AE ले सकते हो. है नहीं? You can do all this. Then you can take BC is already done. So like then you can take BD. Then you can take BE. है ना? Then you can take CE. इस तरीके से even CD also. CD have we done? CD already done. So these are different ways we can do it. So let's say if there are 5 items A, B, C, D, and I have to lift out only 2. So select 2 of them. Then these are the different ways. I don't know whether I missed out 1 or 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I don't think we have missed out anything. That is called as 5C2. Means selecting 2 items. Selecting 2 items out of 5 items. That is the precise meaning of 5C2. So selecting 2 out of. That is the meaning of 5C2. But we are wanting a general answer. General answer is selecting R items out of N items. The answer to that is N factorial by R factorial into N minus R factorial. Now let's try it out for 5C2. So it should be equal to 5 factorial by R factorial is 2 factorial. And N minus 1 is, N minus R is 3 factorial. Now 5 factorial is how much? 120. 2 factorial is 2. 3 factorial is 6. So that is equal to 10. Now, one way of doing it is apply formula. The other way of doing it is apply the details. But details, if it is a small number, 5, 10, maybe 12, 15, then maybe we can manage to do with this method. But if there are many items, and out of that we have to select a lot of things, then of course we cannot adopt this approach. Then we will approach it this way and get the answer directly mathematically. So that is the deeper meaning. But you know what, if I start getting into that deeper meaning, then we will be actually going into the actual domain of mathematics. Now, again, as I was saying, I don't want to do that. What I want is that let's look at superficially the mathematical expressions and then quickly go into physics where we are going to use them. But to do that, we need some more steps. I mean, so like I'm just going into those steps right now. So next is what exactly is this related to binomial theorem? Now that I'm going to explore very soon. To do that, let me express something, and that is a plus b to the power 3. That's because this is a very simple expression. Everybody is aware. The interesting thing is that what is this? This is 1a cube plus 3a square b plus 3ab square plus 1b cube. Now, before I start correlating, I would like to point out two more things. One is NC0 and the other is NCN. Both are interestingly always 1. Right? So NC0 will be how much? N factorial by 0 factorial into N minus 0 factorial. So now that is what? 0 factorial is 1.
1.
N minus 0 means N factorial. So N factorial gets cancelled. So we have 1. And NCN is again N factorial by N factorial into N minus N factorial, and that is equal to 1. So therefore, two special cases, NC0 is 1 and NCN is also 1. For any other numbers, NCR, we have given the general expression. Fine. Now let's see how is this associated with this expansion. And what I'm going to write is not a coincidence. We can write in a general way also. Fine. So let me write this as NC0. Because NC0 is 1. And then write it as a to the power 3, b to the power 0. So I'm writing it in a very special way so that I can link it with combination and then have a final go at binomial theorem. Because the thing is that we are not going to the proof of that, isn't it? We are not going to the proof of that. So I think we need a little bit of a comparison as. So 3, I can write it as, 3C0. So I'm going to write it as 3C1, a to the power 3 minus 1, b to the power 1. Next, this one, I'm going to write as 3C2, a to the power 3 minus 2 into b to the power 2. Plus, last term, 1b cube, I'm going to write it as 3C3, a to the power 3 minus 3 and b to the power 3. So we are seeing that this expression a plus b whole cube is not some kind of random thing. There is an interesting sequence. Last class, that is yesterday, we were also discussing about a plus b whole to the power 4. We were also discussing about a plus b whole to the power 4. And it turned out to be that a plus b whole to the power 4 is equal to 1 into a to the power 4 plus 4 into a to the power 3 b to the power 1. Or you can say that's right, bn plus 6 a square b square plus 4ab cube plus 1b4. Now this is what we get. Even this also can be written in a sequence in this format. How do I write it? See here, 4c0, a to the power 4 minus 0 into b to the power 0 plus 4c1 into a to the power 4 minus 1 b to the power 1 plus 4c2 a to the power 4 minus 2 b to the power 2. Now have a look. It's all getting into a very nice pattern. Of course, I'm not giving a general proof. General proof and all you will be reading in mathematics. So plus, okay, 4c3 a to the power 4 minus 3 b to the power 3 plus 4c4 a to the power 4 minus 4 and b to the power 4. Now see, things seem to be falling in a very nice and sweet plan as far as binomial expression is concerned. Now, I have already shared my number last class, that is yesterday. I'm going to rewrite it 95556 459. Either at this number, send the general expression. What should be now? You must have seen the pattern. So, what is the general expression? A plus b to the power n. Write it in sigma format. Either you write and send it in the Zoom itself, messages के साथ, और नहीं तो अगर अपने sheet में लिखना चाहते हो, तो then just send a pic across to this number 9555 quickly. in a general format. So you can send it by Zoom also, or maybe you can. Okay. As I know that some of you have already studied this, so I think I was expecting some quick answers. Some answers have started coming up. Lavanya has given 100% correct answer. But you know what? When we write answers in the sigma form, limits also need to be sometimes mentioned. And if you don't mention, then by default, the limits are 1 to n. So remember this, and if you don't mention limits, means the limits are from 1 to n. And if your limits are different, then please do mention that. People are giving a correct answer. Shashwat has given. Vansh has given. Okay, Pearl Narang has also now given the correct answer. That's right. Okay, one more answer has come up from I don't know who. Name please, bete. Okay. I is equal to 0 to n. NCI, a to the power I, and b to the power n minus I. No, you have reversed it actually.
फर्क क्या पड़ता है सर?
हाँ, फर्क तो नहीं पड़ता, but फिर भी मतलब जैसे लिखा था हमने इस तरीके से, I think it would be better. फर्क नहीं पड़ता, ये बात भी सही, ठीक है ना? चलो, let me now write the general expression. Some of you have already written it. I mean, and that is a plus b whole to the power n is equal to sigma r is equal to 0 to n. Now that's because if you look at, there are actually one more term than the power. So a plus b whole square is a square plus 2ab plus b square. So the power is 2, but the number of terms is 3. A plus b whole cube is a cube plus 3a square b plus 3ab square plus b cube. So the power is 3, but the number of terms is 4. So the number of terms is 1 more than the power. So therefore 0 to n. Then a to the power n minus r into b to the power r. That's how we get the entire expression. But mind you, here I have to write down the limits because by default limits are 1 to n, whereas it is here 0 to n. So therefore I had to write down
NCM.
सर ये समझ नहीं आया सर कैसे आया?
ठीक है, नहीं ये तो हमने एनालॉगस तरीके से लिखा. अभी हमने जो लिखा है ना, ये प्योरली एनालॉगस तरीके से लिखा. एनालॉगस मतलब आपको मैंने यहाँ पे है ना, ये देखो स्टार्ट 1 से होगा हमेशा, तो यानी 4C0, फिर 4C1, देखो 4C2, फिर 4C3, 4C4, यानी ये तो टू द पावर 4 के लिए हुआ. अब 5 का ट्राई करके देखना आएगा, नंबर्स पता क्या आएगा? 5C0, 5C1, 5C2, 5C3, 5C4, 5C5. देखना यही नंबर्स आएंगे. और 3 के लिए भी मैंने बताया था, 3 का तो खैर यहाँ पे लिखा था, पर मैंने मिटा दिया अभी. ऐसे 3 का मिल गया सीक्वेंस, 4 का मिल गया, 5 का मिल जाएंगे अगर 5 का लिखोगे तो. एंड नाउ वी कैन जनरलाइज. एक्चुअली देखो, अनफॉर्चुनेटली पता है प्रॉब्लम क्या हो रहा है कि आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू द प्रूफ ऑफ द डिटेल्स. तो वो जो डिटेल प्रूफ होता है उससे तो ऑब्वियसली तुम्हारे सामने वो खुल के आ जाएगा कि आया कैसे. पर अगर उस सब चीजों में चला जाऊंगा मैं, तब तो पूरा हम लोग का फिजिक्स क्लास पूरा मैथ्स में बदल जाएगा. Therefore, I'm slightly jumping the gun. So at this stage, if you are not very convinced with my answer, then I would only say that observe the pattern and right now believe the answer a bit. देखना जब मैथ्स क्लास में बाइनोमियल थ्योरम पढ़ोगे, ये जो मैंने इतने सारे चीजें बताया ना, ये तो तुमको 2 क्लास में बताएंगे शायद. मैं तो पिछले 15-20 मिनट में बता है ना, वो सारा डिटेल में एक एक चीज को प्रूव करते हुए जाएंगे. नॉट ओनली दैट, अभी जो एनसीआर है इसके बड़े सारे इंटरेस्टिंग प्रॉपर्टीज है. मैंने तो सिर्फ 2 बताया, NC0 is 1 and NCN is 1, बट ये तो 2 बताया मैंने. ऐसे और भी बहुत बथेरे प्रॉपर्टीज है इसके. बट देन एज आई सेड, इट्स नॉट अ मैथ्स क्लास, इट्स अ फिजिक्स क्लास. लेट्स फोकस ऑन ओनली द आउटपुट. ठीक है ना. फिर भी मैंने थोड़ा सा ब्रिज बिल्ड करने की कोशिश किया कि देखो यहाँ पे जो पैटर्न बन रहा है उसी पैटर्न को रेप्लिकेट करते हुए मैंने यहाँ पे सिग्मा फॉर्म में लिखा. इज दैट ओके? अच्छा, एक काम करो, अगर इसमें स्ट्रगल हो रहा है तो छोटा सा एक एक्सरसाइज हम कर लेते हैं, ज्यादा नहीं करेंगे.
सर प्रूफ भी तो इसका 1 लाइन का ही है ज्यादा.
देखो इट डिपेंड्स ऑन हाउ यू आर प्रूविंग इट। आई मीन अगर मान लो मैथमेटिकल इंडक्शन से प्रूव करोगे तो 3-4 लाइन में प्रूव हो जाएगा। एक्चुअली एक लाइन का इस तरह से प्रूव नहीं होता है, इट हैज अ सर्टेन प्रोसेस, ठीक है ना। सो यू कैन नॉट जंप द गन बाय जस्ट वन लाइन, ठीक है ना। चलो तो लाइक लेट्स सी इफ आई आस्क यू सपोज 3x minus 2y to the power 7, and then let's say I ask you write down the first 3 terms, ठीक है। चलो देखो
कौन सी पहली टीम, मतलब x वाली या y वाली?
नहीं टर्म्स, पूरे टर्म। जैसे इसको एक्सपेंशन में लिखता है ना, पहला टर्म ये प्लस ऐसे टर्म फिर ये इस तरीके से। तो टोटल नंबर ऑफ टर्म्स कितने होंगे? 1 more than the power. So if the power is 7 then the number of terms will be 8. तो उन 8 में से इन सीक्वेंस जैसे हमने बाइनोमियल थ्योरम में लिखा है उस तरीके का, अदरवाइज सीक्वेंस ब्रेक करके तो जहां मर्जी से कुछ भी लिख लो वो नहीं। बाइनोमियल थ्योरम के डेफिनेशन के हिसाब से जो सीक्वेंस डिफाइन किया गया उसके हिसाब से पहला 3 टर्म को बता।
हाँ लेकिन x की सबसे ज्यादा पावर होनी चाहिए या y की, मतलब आगे से या पीछे से, मतलब कि मैंने वैसे करा उल्टा।
नहीं
X-
समझ गया। आई एम गेटिंग योर क्वेश्चन, ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड। हम लोग बाइनोमियल थ्योरम के जो फॉर्मेट डिजाइन किए हैं वो है a प्लस b। अब वो a हो गया 3x और b हो गया -2y। तो अकॉर्डिंगली ये देखो a से स्टार्ट होता है हाईएस्ट पावर और b का लोएस्ट पावर, और फिर क्या होगा a का हाईएस्ट b का लोएस्ट यानी 0 पावर, और फिर एक एक करके पावर बढ़ता जाएगा और घटता जाएगा। तो वो चीज को मेंटेन करते, दैट्स व्हाई आई सेड फॉलो द बाइनोमियल थ्योरम एक्सप्रेशन एंड अकॉर्डिंग टू दैट राइट डाउन। क्योंकि देखो एक चीज जरा सोचो, अगर मान लो तुम 8 टर्म्स लिखते हो तो उन 8 टर्म्स को ऐसे स्वैप करके भी तो एक और सीरीज बन सकता है, रिवर्स करके। तो कोई तो इधर से बोलेंगे तो कोई उधर से बोलेंगे, तो कंफ्यूजन होगा। इसलिए मैंने बोला स्टैंडर्ड बाइनोमियल थ्योरम के हिसाब से जो पहला 3 टर्म है मैंने वो पूछा, ठीक है ना। चलो गो अहेड। आई थिंक सम ऑफ यू हैव ऑलरेडी स्टार्टेड आंसरिंग। Shashwat has given the first answer as x to the power 7. Okay, well, by बेटे शाश्वत x to the power 7 क्यों 3 को हटा क्यों दिया? 3 भी तो आएगा ना, है नहीं? शाश्वत, Vansh has given the correct answer. बिल्कुल सही, ठीक है। Now लावण्य has given, अच्छा लावण्य ने थोड़ा सा और ज्यादा एक्सप्लेन करके दिए हैं, इन द सेंस कि थोड़ा डिटेल में दिए हैं। इतना तो खैर मैंने नहीं पूछा था, मैं तो सिर्फ फाइनल आउटपुट पूछा था, तो मे बी यू कुड हैव स्किप्ड दैट पार्ट ऑफ इट, बट एनीवे नॉनदलेस योर अप्रोच इज करेक्ट। ओके, शाश्वत नाउ सेज कि हाँ मैं थोड़ा भूल गया। Utkarsh has also given the same answer, but you have given only one term. Aryan has also given the correct answer. Dhruv has also given. One more answer has come up in the WhatsApp also. Okay, 7C0. अच्छा तुमने भी बेटे एक्सप्लेनेटरी फॉर्म में दिया है, ठीक है ना, तो मे भी एक बार डिटेल दे दे तो ज्यादा अच्छा रहता, मतलब फाइनल आउटपुट दे तो ज्यादा अच्छा रहता, ठीक है ना। जो व्हाट्सएप में भेजा तो मैंने पूछा भी नाम किसका। ओके, नाउ लेट्स गो टू द सीक्वेंस। सो NCR मींस सबसे पहले लिखेंगे 7C0। इतना फॉर्मेलिटी करने की जरूरत नहीं है, पहला क्वेश्चन इसलिए मैं कर इनटू a इज हियर 3x टू द पावर n minus r यानी 7 minus 0, पहले टर्म में r is equal to 0 होता है, इनटू b to the power r, b means here -2y इनटू -2y to the power 0। ये हो गया पहला टर्म। इतना डिटेल लिखने की जरूरत नहीं है, पहली बार कर रहा हूं इसलिए मैं लिख, प्लस सेकंड टर्म 7c1 into 3x to the power 7 minus 1 into -2y to the power 1, और थर्ड टर्म हो जाएगा 7c2 into 3x to the power 7 minus 2 and obviously -2y to the power 2। अब अगर इसको समेट हो गए तो इन दैट केस 7c0 तो 1 होता है और 3 to the power 7 यानी 3 to the power 7 into x to the power 7 into -2y तो है नहीं, यहाँ पे प्लस है लेकिन ये माइनस है, यानी माइनस हो गया। 7c1 is 7 into 3 to the power 6 into -2 to the power 1 तो यानी एक 2 भी आएगा, into x to the power 7 into y plus 7c2 क्या होगा ना, 7 से 42 by 2 यानी 21, तो 21 into 3 to the power 5, okay, 21 into 3 to the power 5 into -2 to the power 2, so therefore minus is gone, 4 into x to the power 5 into y square। So these are the first 3 terms। अच्छा इसमें माइनस साइन है तो माइनस साइन छोड़ नहीं सकते हो, माइनस साइन की टर्म का पार्ट। तो फर्स्ट टर्म दिस, सेकंड टर्म minus this third term. अब इनको अगर थोड़ा सा further mathematically simplify करना चाहते हो calculations वगैरह, it's up to you. But the basic term is there. The rest is all calculations. Fine. So that's what the scheme of things are. Okay. Now let me quickly go to another idea based on this, and that is
x की power 6
हाँ बेटे
वहां पे बीच वाली टर्म x की power 6 होगी।
क्या बोल रहे हो ये बोला
हाँ।
हाँ इसमें क्या क्वेश्चन है
x की power
So
6
the
होगी।
power of x will be 6.
अच्छा अच्छा हाँ बिल्कुल x to the power 6 ठीक है बिल्कुल सही और यहाँ पे x to the power 5 y to the power बिल्कुल सही। अच्छा अब मेरा नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन है सपोज मेरे पास एक वो है क्वेश्चन है एंड दैट इज 3x स्क्वायर minus 2 by x to the power 15 या चेंज कर लो 70 find the term independent of x जल्दी करो देखो मैंने टर्म पूछा है there is a difference between term number and term number is just a position the third term seventh term ninth term वो नहीं चलेगा पूरा टर्म बताना कैलकुलेशन बेशक ना करो इस तरीके से रख दो फिर तो बात कुछ ऐसे करके that's okay if there are too much if there is too much of calculation I need not do it but at least we can okay Shashwat has given the answer कि ऐसे कोई टर्म होगा ही नहीं so there is 0 Lakshay has given कि अच्छा नहीं लक्ष्य कुछ और रिक्वेस्ट कर रहे हैं अच्छा उसमें ना वीडियो रिकॉर्डिंग प्लीज भेज दीजिए चलो मैं रिकॉर्डिंग देखता हूँ भेजूंगा या रिकॉर्डिंग में करूंगा रखा तो है ही मैंने अच्छा नॉट पॉसिबल वन सेज नॉट पॉसिबल देवव्रत सेज नॉट पॉसिबल पर्ल आल्सो सेज नॉट पॉसिबल ऐसे कोई टर्म पॉसिबल नहीं है चलो ठीक है देख लेते हैं एक बार कि कहीं पॉसिबल ना हो और हम गलत सोच रहे देख लेते है ना देखो फर्स्ट थिंग इज दैट what is the general term general term will be 17cr into 3x squared to the power n minus r then is 17 minus r into minus of 2 by x to the power r ये आ गया तो अगर मैं इसको थोड़ा सिंपलीफाई करता हूं तो दिस इज द rth टर्म tr का मतलब होता है rth टर्म ठीक है r is equal to 0 से स्टार्ट करेंगे तो और एंड होगा 17 तो ये हो गया 17cr into 3 to the power 17 minus r into minus 2 to the power r into x to the power 2 into 17 minus r ठीक है ना x to the power 2 into 17 minus r into x to the power minus r है ना यानी minus r so we are getting 34 minus 3r if you look at x to the power now if you want to have something independent of x then इसको 0 करना पड़ेगा so therefore r will become equal to 34 by 3 यानी not possible that's the answer ठीक है देख लो अच्छे से टर्म में पोजीशनिंग ऐसे बिल्कुल सही टी आर प्लस वन बिल्कुल सही कि फर्स्ट टर्म में आर इज इक्वल टू 0 यूज किया जाता है ना चलो so therefore in this question the conclusion is that it's not possible but let me change the answer now or rather the question suppose I now say that we have here 21 now go ahead and find out the term which is independent of x go ahead in the meanwhile I mean write the entire term not the term position in the meanwhile I have to take attendance so please quickly respond so that we don't waste too much of time अब unfortunately क्या करें attendance के लिए हमें बताया गया तो हमें लेना तो पड़ेगा Okay, quickly respond. I mean, Aadhar Verma,
Present, sir. Sir, am I audible?
हाँ ठीक है, देख लिया मैंने, मैं तो इसके लिए वो नंबर अरेंज कर रहा था. आधार इज ओके. आदित्य,
Present, sir.
अभय,
Present, sir.
अक्षिता,
Present, sir.
अर्चित, अर्चित इज नॉट इन द लिस्ट. ठीक है. अरहन, अरिंजय,
Present, sir.
आर्यन,
Excuse me, sir.
अक्षिता,
Present, sir.
अथर्व, ओके, अविरल,
Present, sir.
भूमिका,
Present, sir.
थोड़ा सा जल्दी जल्दी कर लो, ठीक है ना, बिकॉज यू नो कि तुम्हारे अल्फाबेट्स आने वाला है, तो बी प्रिपेयर्ड. देवव्रत,
Present, sir.
ध्रुव,
Present, sir.
ध्रुव गोयल हो गया, ध्रुव कुमार.
Sir, present.
अच्छा, दोनों ही प्रेजेंट, चलो ठीक है. ओ अच्छा, एक और ध्रुव भी है, ध्रुव शांडिल्य.
Present, sir.
ओके फाइन. बाप रे, तीन तीन. गरिमा, गरिमा, यस, आर यू देयर? गरिमा, ओके. इशिता,
Present, sir.
जसलीन,
Present, sir.
कार्तिक,
Present, sir.
कार्तिकेय,
Present, sir.
लक्ष्य,
Present, sir.
लावण्य,
Present, sir.
नवांश, पार्थ अग्रवाल, पार्थ अग्रवाल, ओके. पार्थ गुप्ता, ठीक. पर्व मेहता,
Present, sir.
राघव ग्रोवर,
Present, sir.
सानवी,
Present, sir.
सक्षम,
Present, sir.
शाश्वत तिवारी,
Present, sir.
शीर्ष निगम,
Present, sir.
शिवराज चौधरी,
Present, sir.
शौनक राव चौधरी,
Present, sir.
शौर्य आसवाल,
Present, sir.
शुभम दुबे, शुभम दुबे, नवांश, अच्छा नवांश इज प्रेजेंट, चलो ठीक. एक दो लगता और भी प्रेजेंट है जो कि शायद रिस्पॉन्ड नहीं कर पाए. अक्षत गुप्ता, अक्षत तुम्हारा नाम तो नहीं लिया मैंने, बट प्रेजेंट मार्क को,
Yes, sir.
ठीक है ना. नहीं, mark कर. नवांश का भी हो गया, चलो ठीक. वेयर वाज आई? हाँ, शुभम दुबे, ओके. नेक्स्ट इज स्तुति उपाध्याय. तो स्तुति अभी जस्ट लॉग इन कर रही थी, चलो ठीक है. सुमंत आनंद,
Present, sir.
उत्कर्ष,
Present, sir.
स्तुति अभी. उत्कर्ष राज,
Present, sir.
वंश,
Present, sir.
वरुण, वरुण, ओके, वरुण इज देयर. अच्छा, कोई प्रॉब्लम, चलो ठीक. ठीक है, वरुण मार्क कर दिया मैंने प्रेजेंट. विश्वास,
Present, sir.
यश,
Present, sir.
युग,
प्रेजेंट सर।
चलो ठीक है, आई थिंक इनको एक्स्ट्रा भी है लग रहा है। चलो ठीक, let me just quickly send the attendance. In the meanwhile, I hope expression लिख रहे हो। चलो अनफॉर्चुनेटली ना एक आध हफ्ते ऐसे ही चलेगा, ठीक है ना, तो उसके बाद थिंग्स विल स्मूदन आउट होपफुली। हाँ, तो मेरा क्वेश्चन क्या था, फाइंड द टर्म इंडिपेंडेंट ऑफ एक्स। अब इस बार क्या है ना, पावर बदल के 21 हो, यानी अब ये हो जाएगा 21 CR 21 माइनस R इंटू R, तो बाकी तो सब सेम ही है। तो 21 CR 21 माइनस R R, ये हो जाएगा 2 x to the power 2 into 21 minus R, तो ये हो जाएगा 42 minus 3R, x to the power R 42 to the minus 3R, उसको जीरो करेंगे तो क्या होगा ना, x R आ गया, R आ गया 40. So therefore in this case it would be the term which has a R value of 14, ठीक है ना, so R is equal to 14. Now we can easily put it, so it will become 21 C14, then 3 to the power 21 minus 14, so it's 3 to the power 7 into minus 2 to the power R, which is in this case 14. X तो होगा नहीं, so this is the term. Of course we cannot dare to calculate and this like too long, but otherwise तो यही होगा, and that is 21 C14 term निकला, so 21 C14 into 3 to the power 7 into minus 2 to the power 14. I think that would be the term, ठीक है ना। चलो, so that was about the term which is independent of x. I have one more thing to ask, and that is, I hope you are absorbing the ideas. जहाँ पे कोई दिक्कत है तो पूछ लीजिए। हाँ बेटा।
सर मैं कह रहा हूँ ये 14th टर्म होगी
14th
या
term
फिर
नहीं, actually
वो
R is
टर्म
equal to 14
R 14 होगी।
R is equal to 14 हो, और
अच्छा
टर्म नंबर अगर देखो तो 15 है, टर्म नंबर अगर देखो तो 15 आएगा, R का वैल्यू 14 है, का मतलब होता है टर्म पोजीशन इक्वल टू 15। क्यों? क्योंकि हम लोग का जो एक्सपेंशन था उसमें R is equal to 0 से स्टार्ट हुआ,
यस सर।
तो therefore R is equal to 0 वाला है फर्स्ट पोजीशन वाला टर्म, और R is equal to 1 वाला हो गया सेकेंड पोजीशन, R is equal to 3 वाला हो गया थर्ड पोजीशन वाला टर्म। सो R और टर्म पोजीशन थोड़ा सा अलग है, क्योंकि हम लोग स्टार्टिंग R is equal to 0 से कर, सो दैट्स सम काइंड ऑफ अ चेंज है
तो फिर 15th टर्म होगी वो।
हाँ,
15th।
अगर शुरू से फर्स्ट टर्म सेकंड टर्म ऑनवर्ड्स कैलकुलेट करोगे तो वो 15th टर्म होगा, लेकिन उसका R का वैल्यू क्या होगा 14। रीजन बीइंग दैट R is equal to 0 से हमने स्टार्ट किया, तो R is equal to 0 वाला हमारे लिए फर्स्ट पोजीशन वाला टर्म है।
इससे अच्छा सर जीरो एट टर्म इंट्रोड्यूस कर देते हैं। अच्छा
चलो ठीक है, अगर तुम जीरो टर्म को इंट्रोड्यूस करते हो then you can say 14, but when nothing is said then generally we begin with 1. That makes more sense, sir. समझे ना, so that's what the point is. So it all depends on it. अगर तुम बोलो कि नहीं मैं तो 0th टर्म करके स्टार्ट करना चाहता हूँ, तब तो और अच्छा है, तब तो जो R है वही उसका पोजीशन, but with an assumption that you are beginning with R is you are beginning with 0th term. चलेगा, it all depends on it. That's what you're saying. It all depends on how you are interpreting and explaining. मेन इशू क्या है कि कन्वे ठीक से होना चाहिए, इसलिए मैंने देखो अभी पोजीशन नाम दिया, फर्स्ट पोजीशन, यानी फर्स्ट पोजीशन तो फर्स्ट पोजीशन होता है, दैट कैन नॉट बी चैलेंज्ड, है ना। चलो नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज लाइक दिस, 2x plus y to the power 8, find out the middle term पूरा लिखने की जरूरत नहीं है, जस्ट एक्सप्रेशन लिख लो मिडिल टर्म, जल्दी कर। मिडिल टर्म, okay, I've already started getting answers. चलो गुड, क्योंकि इस बार r इज इक्वल टू 0 से स्टार्ट करें तो मिडिल टर्म क्या होता है, अगर 3 टर्म्स होता है तो सेकंड वाला मिडिल टर्म, अगर 5 टर्म होता है तो थर्ड
फिफ्थ
वाला
टर्म
middle term,
होगी।
है ना? तो इस केस में टोटल कितने होंगे, 9 टर्म्स होंगे। तो अगर टर्मिनोलॉजी तो 1 से स्टार्ट करो तो देयरफॉर यू हैव 9 टर्म्स, so 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, यानी 1 2 3 4 यानी फिफ्थ टर्म। लेकिन फिफ्थ टर्म के लिए r का वैल्यू क्या लेंगे, हम लेंगे एज 4, so that is the important criteria, and that is the position or the value of r that we are going to take to find out that term or the one which is midpoint. Just a second. Midpoint will be r is equal to 4 in this case. ये 0 से start हो रहा है, तो 0 1 2 3 4, that's the fifth term. You start with 1. So r is equal to 4 हो गया, बस that's it. Then CR, so 8c4 into 2x to the power n minus r, so 8 minus 4 into y to the power r, यानी 4. So that's 8c4 into 2 to the power 4 into x4 y. Let's end this discussion with one last question, and that is, what about, let's say, find out the middle term or terms for x plus 3y to the power 70. So x plus 3y to the power 70. Okay, Navansh has asked you, can we do it by symmetry? Actually, there is symmetry on. If there are 9 terms, and if let's say I'm at the middle, so it has to be fifth term. Why? Because 4 will be on this side, 4 will be on this side, so that's 8, and I'm at the middle, so I'm the fifth term. But fifth term, according to calculation of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, means that r value will be 4. Why? It is always 1 less. Because for the first term, if you start with 1, you start with 1, the first term is r equal to 0. Second term is r is equal to 1. So fifth term will be r is equal to 4. And that's exactly what we've done. So put r is equal to 4, and then the general expression for the rth term or whatever, and you get the answer. Okay, chalo, go ahead. X plus 3y to the power 17, find out the middle terms. Okay, Utkarsh has already given an answer, and that's on right track. That's on right track. And that is, he has given 2 answers, and that's right. That's because in this case, if you look at, the power is odd, it's 17. So the number of terms will be 18, one more. And therefore, you won't have one single midpoint. You will have 2 middle terms on either side of the so-called midpoint, isn't it? Because let's say if you take a smaller number, suppose there are 4 terms, if this to the power, let's see if the power would have been 3, had the power been 3, then there would have been 4 terms. Now if I ask you what is the middle term, there is no middle term actually. There are 2 middle terms. Now that's what you have to understand. Got it? So if it is to the power 3, then you have the second term and the third term. Now second term would mean r is equal to 1, and third term would mean r is equal to 2, and so on. Similarly, for 17, you have actually 18 terms. So 18 terms would mean the 9th term and the 10th term. Because prior to that, you will have 8 terms, and after that also you will have 8 terms. So 8 plus 8 is 16, and 2. Now for 9th term, you will put r is equal to 8, and for the 10th term, you will put r is equal to That's the speciality. I think that's pretty simple. So therefore, you have the term. You have to ask the middle terms. That means 17C8 into x to the power 17 minus 8 into 3y to the power 8, which will become 17C8 x to the power 9, 17 minus 8, or let me write 3 to the power 8 first. 3 into 3 to the power 8 into x to the power 9 and y to the power 8. And the other term is 17C9 x to the power 17 minus 9 into 3y to the power 9. So that will become equal to 17C9 into 3 to the power 9 into x to the power 8 into y to the power 9. That's the change. Now you can see. Okay, let's have a look. So these are the two terms basically. Okay, I think that much of introduction to binomial theorem is more than sufficient for us, because we are not interested in binomial theorem. We are interested in some of its applications. Okay. Now, let me get a slightly more general picture, especially for a very, very particular case. And that is, suppose I write 1 plus x to the power n. I write 1 plus x to the power n in the form of an expansion, and where x is very, very, very small compared to 1. So x is very small quantity, like 0.00003. I mean, something like that. So it's very small compared to 1. Suppose. Then what happens? This can be written as nc0, 1 to the power n, x to the power 0, plus nc1, 1 to the power n minus 1, x to the power 1, plus nc2, 1 to the power n minus 2 into x to the power 2. And then you will have higher powers of x. Because I have told you already that x is extremely small compared to 1. So therefore, higher powers of x is neglected. Because if let's say x is 0.001, then x to the power 2, that is x square, will be 0.000001. Now that's too small. And when it comes to cubing, it will become 0.000000001. Too less. So what I do is that after this term, I neglect all of them as x is too small. So if x is very small, the higher powers of x will become very rapidly smaller and smaller. So I don't think really there is any point in adding these numbers. So we have a case where if x is very small compared to 1, then we have 1 plus x to the power n can be written as approximate. Of course, because I'm eliminating these terms, so I cannot write it as equal to, but yes, of course, it will be approximately. But how much? NC0 is 1. This is 1. X to the power 0 is 1. So that's 1. Plus NC1, we calculate, it will become n. 1 to the power n minus 1, that's 1 only. And x over 1 is x. So it will become 1 plus nx. Now, that's an important use. That's an important use. Now, you will come to know about it very soon. For example, suppose I ask you, that I have dropped an object. So an object has been dropped. Please understand some bit of physics, probably where we can use this. So I've dropped an object. Yeah, there's some answers already, Utkarsh, Pearl and all. They've given the answer as 1 plus nx. That's exactly what we've reached to. So you are right. Okay. Now I've dropped an object. You to find out the distance covered between 5 and 5.0002 seconds. Go ahead.
It depends on whether it hits the ground or not. Well, then only we can apply the equation.
I'm not getting a bit. एक बार थोड़ा repeat करोगे? Can you please repeat once? Yes, you were saying something, Bidi. Can you repeat once? I can get your question. Take the value of G as equal to 10, not 9.8. 9.8 would lead to a lot of calculations, and let's put G as 10. Utna simplification आप कर सकते. Go ahead. But if you are solving it by other thoughts, of course, most welcome. No issues. Just that you can link with binomial, the better, because the context is binomial, so maybe get some exposure on that also. Only two answers. Utkarsh has given 0.01 meter and Shashwat has given 0.1 meter. Chalo, okay. I waited a bit. Let me now start the answer. Let's find out the displacement after 5.0002 seconds. Now, how do I get it? So the displacement is half. You know that displacement is half s equal to ut plus half v square. Now, because it has been dropped, so I can say that u is equal to 0. So s will be equal to half g t square. So half g t square. T means 5 plus 0.0002 whole square. So what I do is that I take out 5 square common. So half into 10 into, because I've taken out 5 square common, so it will be 25. Into 1 plus 0.0002 by 5 whole square. This is because I've taken 5 common, so this is what I do. Now, this is x. So it is according to this 1 plus x to the power n. So you have 1 plus x, where x is very small, so that satisfies the criteria because it's very small. To the power n, n here is 2. So that commutator is approximately 1 plus nx. That's equal to half into 10 into 25, okay, into 1 plus nx. So it will become 2 into 0.0002 by 5 nx. Now, if you look at carefully, the displacement in 5 seconds is actually half into a into t square or g into t square. So therefore, in the interval, the displacement is only this part, the second part. That's half into 10 into 25 into 2 into 0.00. How many zeros are there? 3 zeros. Sorry. Into 2 by 5. Okay. So maybe what you can do is that you can just cancel 5 here. 2 can also be cancelled. So 10 would mean that this decimal will shift, isn't it? By 1. So ultimately we'll get the into 2 is 10. So that will shift the decimal by 1. There's a 10 here also, that will also shift the decimal by 1. So instead of 0.7, we'll shift the decimal by 1. That will become equal to 0.01 meter. That's it. Let's do the calculation a bit. I think you will get the answer like this. So 5 and 25 is 5, and then rest of the things, 2 gets cancelled. 2 into 5 is 10, so that shift the decimal by 1. This 10 is also there. 2 decimal shifts here. And the answer will be 0.01 meter.
Sir, I was disconnected. Could you repeat for 1 minute?
Yeah, see what I did was that.
Nah, 0.01. I have, when you have tell you have calculated 0.01, I was there 10 seconds before.
Yeah, see what I was doing was that half into a g into t square. Now t here is 5.0002. I've just split it up. So 5 plus something. And then I took out 5 square common. So 25, and this will become 1 plus this 5 because I've taken out 5 commons. This 5 will be. Now the reason is very deliberate, because I know that in 5 seconds the displacement is half into 10 into 5 square. Now that is there here anyway. So half into 10 into 5 square. That is 1, into 1. So that's the displacement in 5 seconds. So the extra displacement is what is being asked. So the extra displacement will actually come not from this, but from this term. So I removed the 1. So therefore, I first wrote the entire term. Then I saying that therefore in the interval, what will be covered is only this into the second part. Let's leave out this 1. Because that is the displacement for 5 seconds. And the extra is actually coming out from this. So I've just multiplied the extra part. Finally, we get an answer of 0.01 meter.
सर
I'm not
आज डाउट
suggesting that. हाँ बेटे,
सर मैं कह रहा था आपने क्वेश्चन में पूछा है कि डिस्टेंस बिटवीन 5 and 5.0002 सेकंड तो सर अब इसमें माइनस नहीं करेंगे
नहीं एक्चुअली माइनस मैंने कर दिया वही तो मैंने बोला ना कि जो डिस्प्लेसमेंट आया वो है हाफ इंटू 10 इंटू करते 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 यहाँ तक पहुंचा ये इसमें से ये जो 1 इंटू ये वाला चीज है ये एक्चुअली डिस्प्लेसमेंट इन 5 सेकंड्स है तो देखो अगले लाइन में मैंने वो हटा दिया मैंने सिर्फ ये रखा और ये रखा देखो ध्यान से इसको रखा मैंने हाफ इंटू 10 इंटू 25 हाफ इंटू 10 25 और ये रखा देखो 2 इंटू दिस 1 बाय 5 ये देखो तो मैंने ये टर्म हटा दिया इसलिए क्यों ये एक्चुअली रिप्रेजेंट कर रहा है डिस्प्लेसमेंट इन 5 सेकंड्स तो एक्चुअली देखा जाए तो मैंने एक्चुअली ये किया है चलो ठीक है मैं दिखा देता हूँ दिस -1 इज व्हाट आई हैव डन तब तो जाके वो मान 1 और 1 कैंसिल हो गया तो वो 1 जो है ना 5 सेकंड्स का डिस्प्लेसमेंट रिप्रेजेंट कर रहा और ये वाला जो पार्ट है वो एक्स्ट्रा जो 0.0002 सेकंड्स का वो डिस्प्लेसमेंट रिप्रेजेंट कर रहा है तो माइनस एक्चुअली मैंने कर रखा है इट इज जस्ट दैट आई डिडंट बॉदर टू शो सो मच बिकॉज़ आई वाज ओनली इंटरेस्टेड इन दैट इंटरवल वाला पार्ट कि उसके कंट्रीब्यूशन क्या है इन डिस्प्लेसमेंट एंड दैट केम आउट फ्रॉम द सेकंड and after some calculations it became 0.01 meter okay likewise there are one or two more things that can be possibly lined up you know maybe tomorrow's class or next class whenever it is ठीक है ना Shashwat has written कि it's 0.0 meter I took only 2 zeros instead of 3 हाँ ठीक है वो कैलकुलेशन मिस्टेक चलता रहता है कैलकुलेशन मिस्टेक मैं भी कर सकता हूँ कोई दिक्कत नहीं है it's just that the theme should be correct and the thinking should be correct that's the main thing okay so I think that's it for today we will continue the next class with one or two more questions on applications of binomial theorem and then move on to the next mathematical tool which we are going to discuss as log and then some basics of trigonometry a bit of coded geometry graphs a little bit of calculus and then we will enter the domain of physics fine so some more maths sessions lined up for the next few classes so physics is still to be on the waiting mode right now few more days and then we will start with physics fine chalo aaj ke liye itna hi have a good day
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
okay thank you
Also, sir, there was no need of taking out the 5.
no we did take out the 5 here 5 तो है
मतलब वो कि 5 कॉमन लेके उसमें से
नहीं उससे क्या फायदा क्या हुआ ना कि हाफ इंटू 10 इंटू 5 स्क्वायर से क्या हुआ ना वो डिस्प्लेसमेंट ऑफ 5 सेकंड्स अलग हो
अच्छा
देखो कैलकुलेशन करने का तौर तरीका अलग हो सकता है मैं मना नहीं कर रहा हूं पर उसमें फिर इसका फायदा कहाँ उठाओगे 1 + x टू द पावर है तो वो 1 + x टू द पावर वाला फॉर्मेट में लेके आया
हाँ ठीक है
तो इसलिए किया देखो इस क्वेश्चन को करने के अलग-अलग तरीके से सोच सकते हैं ऐसा कुछ नहीं है इट इज जस्ट दैट आई वांटेड टू यूज दिस वन and that's why I took it in a manner or rather described it in a manner by taking out common and all those things so that I get this expression which is the one here that's the only reason no other reason right चलो ठीक है आज के लिए इतना ही have a good day
Thank you, sir.